right? The win-win situation is this. I come to you on a respectful level, yeah, and I say, this is causing harm and offense to the black community, yeah? We're here saying, we don't want you to use that word. Why would you, ask you the question, why would you want to use that word, even making a point, yeah? Have a conversation about it. Everyone watches it. What you then choose to do is completely and utterly on you. Completely and utterly on you. If you then make a point of going across this app and saying that word, everyone has that live to look back on and go, well, hold on, somebody treated you with respect and dignity and you still decided to discriminate. Then if you end up with a label, that's your business. That is your business. What you choose to do after that, yeah, the app can react to that. But no. And people want to get angry at the way I choose to approach things and say, why are we giving this person? Because sometimes, like, you can't fight fire with fire. You can't. I would much rather have that conversation with her. And if she then carries on, I have fucking proof there on the table, bam. Like, people, someone has come to you on a level and has been respectful, hasn't called you a name, hasn't cussed you out, hasn't said you're this, hasn't labelled you, yeah? But if you then go away and do something, you're labelling yourself. Then categorically, if someone chooses to call you something, then you've caused that label. That's how I would approach it. And people can come for me for that. People can say, oh yeah, you don't allow a racist to platform. Cool. But if you're shown to have done everything right, here's the thing, yeah, we all know this. When it comes to racism and stuff like that, you have to do everything right. Because if you do everything right and that person still continues to disrespect, they're 100% in the wrong. There's no arguments. No one can back her then. Because then you're deliberately race baiting. You're making a conscious decision to be disrespectful when you weren't disrespected in the first place. That's all I wanted to do. But TikTok be TikToking. And now, FYP's tomorrow. Let me tell you what the debates are going to be. EQ's going to do what she does. Miss Red's going to run it. In that box will be people saying, yeah, but Torian was transphobic. and that's it. It's just going to be a back and forth. It's going to be people who support Torian saying EQ's a racist, she's the worst of the worst. Then you're going to have people who support EQ and people within, with attachments to the trans community saying, yeah, well, she was transphobic. And it's going to be the same back and forth, Uno reverse, and it's going to be used. And it will be used in a room where someone might have a disagreement with another creator. I'm not naming names. And someone in the chat will be like, yeah, but you support Torian who supports transphobia. And you've just given people like something to fucking throw in the comments when we actually have a strong point. It's so frustrating to watch. It's a circle. It's such a toxic circle as well. It makes things hard. It makes things so hard because whenever I approach someone about something, they've always got, yeah, but so and so did this. It's I don't know. At some point, you just, and this is why so many people have given up. This is why Paige had given up, and people always use you get me, digital footprint. Do you know what's frustrating for me is, like, I worked so hard to... Do you know what's going to be in the chats? What EQ said? Juk. That's back. That's back, guys. That's back, and that's on your back now. Like, when people say, when people make out like, I don't know if they're in here, when people make out like Pearl is continuously hounded and bullied, no, she did something and it's going to stay with her forever. And the same applies to Torian. And that's just the truth of the matter. There is no differences here. There's no difference. Two people did something wrong, and it's going to stay with them forever. And in the same way that, I don't like saying her name, so in the same way that P fans say that, oh, she's being bullied, that's why Torian people can say, oh, Torian's being bullied. When will people forget it? Well, you don't forget those things. And that's rightfully so. Like, people don't forget those things. The difference is, like, one doesn't make out like they're the victim. I know there's going to be some people that don't like that. But it's like the truth. Nobody likes the truth on this app. Is that a guest thing? Are these boxes messing up again? Because I think that was a guest thing. Let me know if that was a guest request, Courtney. Because here's the thing, right? Do you know why EQ continuously tries to outdo herself time and time again? EQ tries to outdo herself time and time again because this is it for EQ, because of digital footprint. She's not going to have like a regular job. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, she's never gonna be able to get a job due to digital footprint. If she was to ever get even big to the level that she wanted to get to on like a mainstream thing, no one would have her because of videos like Courtney has. Hey, Courtney.
Hey. So I have just listened to Torian's live on the side. I'm not annoyed at Torian. Torian do what she wants, but it's fucking, and I'm going to say it, that NJ twisting it, making
I knew
it out,
you would. I knew you would. Sorry.
He's making it out that I'm being selective. Are you fucking joking? He's like, this is just proof again that they're being selective and they're not calling out EQ. Are you taking the fucking piss? I'm like one of the only people that did. And can I just bear in mind, right? I was in Alex's live and Luke the judge heard me speaking about it, so asked me to send him the video, and that's why he spoke about it. Not that he didn't, he just hasn't heard it, so he couldn't speak on it. So if I hadn't gone into Alex's live and Luke heard me say that I've got the clip of it, that wouldn't have been shown, right? So do not try and make out I'm being fucking selective, NJ host. You're selective right now, clearly, when you're sitting in that selective because you're okay with what Torian's saying.
The thing about, I watched, I watched it in the chat, and I didn't want to comment on it because obviously there's so much going on in regards to NJ. And again, I'm trying to stay out of it because I kind of wanted,
I
want the thing with him and Kenzino's mum to stop as well.
Yeah.
So in order for me to do that, I can't be rushing in and beefing him. I kind of have to.
No, I totally get that. And I just, like, the thing is, like, the reason I've come to you is because, like, obviously, I don't want this to look like I'm coming into, like, thinking you, but obviously, you're black. So I want to come to you as a black person to be, and I'm not saying this for you to give me approval, but I want you to see that what I'm trying my hardest to do. I'm not sitting here trying to be the white knight against racism or the white knight against that. Like, I genuinely am so angry at all discrimination. And it infuriates me that no one spoke about EQ. Like, it really did. It made me angry. That's why I went into Alex's box. Not saying that Alex was because he didn't speak about it, but I didn't think everyone knew about it.
I genuinely, my hand on my heart, I have no idea what everyone's talking about.
And the thing is as well is Tessa has just played another video of EQ being out for New Year's Day, which I hadn't even seen this one, of her, a black man came into the restaurant and Teddy had said, I don't trust him or I don't whatever. And then EQ went, because he's black, and then Teddy went, yeah. So I had never seen that one before. So how can you? And then that's when NJ went, see, there you go, selective outrage. You know, they're not speaking on. I fucking hadn't seen it. How can we speak on something if we haven't seen it?
Yeah, see, there's people reacting to it now that just haven't seen it. Like, you can't. What if people don't know about it? What do you want them to do? Like, if that video, you just go, why is it not on FYP? Firstly, I don't know. I'll happily show it. I've got 2 devices now. So
I think it was on Tessa with FYP. I swear she said it was on her page, and she said it's been there since New Year, and she's not happy that, and that's understandable. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, it's frustrating when things are not seen, but it's if the algorithm doesn't take it and the right people are seeing it, unfortunately, it's not going to get spoken about.
Do you want my truthful opinion of what I think happened?
Yeah,
I think people are humans, and I feel like maybe T's having a bad day, because you know when people make out like, oh, she's just going from 0 to 100 and that's like her, but you've got to look at human nature. So maybe she's not having a good day in general, and then she's seen that and she doesn't want to talk. Do you know what it is? It's hard for a host, Courtney. Yeah. Like, you get pulled. It happened to me the other day with Paigey and Karis. Like, I don't have a problem with Karis, because when I've been in Alex's spaces, sometimes she's defended me, right?
Yeah.
Paigey's also my friend, and she was hurt. And you're like, oh, what do I do? I know it's spiraling. I know what I should do, but I also know the repercussions of what happens if I do that.
Yeah.
You know, both should drop. Both should drop, and I should take control as a host. That's just me being honest, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard to do that, because you did that and you dropped both, and it was called favoritism.
Yeah.
You can't win.
And the thing is, like, see, when people bring up that I'm not talking about the EQ and it's changed from the EQ thing, it's because it was said in that moment. If Torian hadn't said anything, no one would have mentioned anything to do with that. It's the fact, you've got to realise that deflecting it to, yeah, but EQ said this, so this is why this has happened. We need to just have the conversation as things happen. Things happened in the past, yes, but we also need to have conversations when they're actually happening.
Yeah. It was just Hungry Guy using the technique that all TikTokers use of, when you're getting called out, this is what happened. He got called out about something. He was on the back foot, right? He tried to gaslight an entire room by saying he didn't say something when he because I remember when he said, he kept saying we, and he kept saying we were saying. And I remember when he said it thinking, wow, you're really coming on stage admitting that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because I remember, and that's why you asked him. You asked him to make sure that as a homosexual man, he was saying that, and then you were asking, do you have a disability to be saying those words? I completely understood your point.
Oh my God. It's on the FYP because I think it's on Luke's to be shown.
It's chaos. It's chaos, and it's going to go on for days, and it's just the way that app is.
I need to make a stance. Like, this is the thing. Like, I'm quite a bit of a people pleaser. I'm going to say that. I do tend to, because I want to be obviously having a laugh, and I want to be in spaces, like in like people's rooms that other people are in, that maybe I don't agree with what they're saying, but this is where I need to make a stance to be like, I don't want to be around this person. I can't chill with a person that is doing something on a repeated basis. I'm going
to be honest, and I'm going to say it, and it's going to get me in a lot of trouble. Yeah. You to not call out Torian is to, like, you can't not call out Torian.
Yeah.
And that's why, look, the reason I wanted to leave, because I knew where the conversation was going, and I was like, I'm going to end up part of this conversation. And I know the repercussions, and it's a shame. It's more of a shame of what's going to come if I have that conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not supporting anyone. I'm not defending anyone. I just know that if you ask me a certain question, it's hard. That's why I had to speak to Alicia, because I consider us like friends. So I should be able to tell you what you're saying is actually proving that it's transphobia. By saying that it's not an issue that relates to women, that's an issue that's exclusively for trans women. That's what makes it transphobic.
Yeah.
And it's hard because...
And the thing is, and I get it, because you're friends with Tori, and so if my friend did something, this is the thing, me and Tori are not friends. Like, we chill in the same places. It's not like we talk off the app. We're not like that. We're associations of TikTok, you know? So
Yeah.
I get that you were dropping off because you might just want to have a conversation off the app, and that's, you know, that's...
Yeah.
You know, like that's something, like if maybe if somebody that I'm friends with and speak to off the app, I would have that conversation with the off the app. I wouldn't sit on an app and do it. But it's just in that situation, I didn't hear her first saying it. It was only because somebody else mentioned it that I went, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to lie, you know yourself, if you're in that situation and loads of people are screaming and shouting, like I would be... You kind of freeze and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck do I do? Do I chuck them out? And I just wasn't listening in a way. Like, I just knew that personal attacks were happening. It got aggressive on both sides, but I just almost froze and I was like, nah, I need to chuck them out. Do you know what I mean? I maybe lost control as a host there.
Yeah, but that's fine. It is what it is. You're only human. Like,
Yeah.
and Alicia, don't worry about it. It's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I just didn't want you to take that the wrong way. Like, listen, I know the way that it's going to say. I didn't want you to take it the wrong way, but I tried to explain why it was. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Like, there's no hard feelings.
But shall we sing happy birthday to Alicia?
Yeah. Wait, there needs to be more people. I think we should do it in like a later live when everyone's having fun. I don't think anyone's going to have fun tonight.
No, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to switch TikTok off. Like, I'm going to go in and mod for Luke, and then I think I'm just going to switch TikTok off because I know that this is just, as I said, other people are getting involved in it, and it's just going to get messy. And I'm just like, whatever. You know, I just don't like how it's being twisted that people are being selective. Like, the whole point... I even said it to EQ, and do you know how tough it is to go against EQ? Like, she can get fucking nasty. And I think we all know I'm quite a weak person, right? For me to say to fucking EQ, you're bang out of order for using the N-word, and I didn't agree with it, and that was wrong, is a lot. Like, she's a tough personality.
Do you know what I don't like? I don't like what I know is the narrative tonight at 8 p.m. Black people are transphobic. Courtney, that's what the whole thing's going to be about. It's what it will be.
And that's going to be so wrong. Because it's
damaging.
That is an undertone of racism, because one person has said something to you doesn't mean the whole community should be called out for that.
There you go. But it is what it is, man. I
She said it in the comments. Why are black people transphobic? She did write that in the comments, to be fair. I did see that. And I was like, nah.
That'll be that'll be the thing tonight.
Yeah.
I can almost see the script.
I'm not going to listen, to be honest. Like, honestly, I know she'll just say shit as well, and I can't be bothered. She'll be like, oh, and she fucking went with Rickster. Oh, I know that shit will get brought up, and I can't be asked.
I don't think she'll reference you.
Well, we'll wait for the FYP. We'll wait for the toned down version of it.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. This is going to go on for a couple of days.
Well, Hungry Guy's getting called out for being EQ's sub, to be fair. People that I don't know, I've never seen before, but they're like proper. I don't think they're proper, like in the sense of TikTokers. Like, I think they're people who just go into boxes and obviously speak about stuff. And, you know, they're saying like how they stand on racism, like on and off the app. And they're like, dude, how dare you be like subbing to fucking EQ when this isn't the first rodeo and all of that shit. So yeah, Hungry Guy's getting called out right now. He's getting his karma.
Hungry Guy was trying to say what he's trying to say. He was basically saying, oh, it's lads culture, it's banter culture. We were all in a live and it was okay. Nobody was snowflaking, but your live was clearly full of scumbags.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, what do you want to understand?
Exactly.
Bringing up the P shop, I really dislike that. Like,
it's when he said the Northerners use it. No, the only people that say it are the shitty people.
He played us all.
He did, and I should have dropped him earlier. I'm such a mug. But it was an interesting conversation, whether it was to Hungry Guy or not. Like, I feel like even if you're dealing with a stupid person, and I say this as in not that he is actually stupid, but I mean, like, you know, that kind of person, you might not be getting the information to them, but you're getting the information to hopefully people in the room.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Like, you know how people used to come at you and go, but Angie doesn't listen. Yeah, but someone in the room hopefully listens.
He was actually proving points. I liked him being there because everything that he was describing was actually what was wrong. Because he was like, oh, well, you know, he was like, maybe you're not the one to ask. Maybe I can ask Frankie and Alex because they're men. But you're not getting it. That's the point. It's rooted in homophobia and like misogyny.
It was when he brought up the, like, if a gay man tried it on with you and all of that, and it's like, oh my God, like, and it headbutting and all of that. It's like, what the fuck has this got to do with you using slur words? Like, mental.
He wasn't getting it. I liked what he brought up because it made him, it made it very easy to explain. He was like, oh, so is it okay for you to call me it then? No, because I could call you anything. If I don't feel a way about homosexual men, then I wouldn't use a slur against them, whether they were coming on to me or not. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Anyway, I'm gonna head because I do need to go and eat food. But as I said, I'll go and do my duties, and then I am switching the app off. So yeah. Right. Peace out. Love you all. Bye.
Right. I think do you know where things took a turn for me as well, and where things get difficult? You know, when Top Girl came up, and this is not me, I feel like I might be freezing again. I'm not going for anyone or anything like that. I'm just saying that when we have personal issues and we make excuses for things, it muddies the water of the conversation. Like, how do I explain it without fucking starting World War III? I can't. I'll have to leave it for another time because I don't want to mention names that just don't need to be mentioned. But I feel like I'm not going to say everyone, actually, because not everyone. People do stand on things. Yeah, it's going to go on for days, Frankie. It's going to go on for days, man. I just have a really different approach to things. So, for instance, like when all the other stuff kicked off the other day with another side of TikTok, I went into a space that I knew that was quite... You requested my box. Hold on. Oh, there you are. I went into a space that was quite heavily other people. And I did that, firstly, because I love debating. And secondly, to prove and show that rather than consistently like argue with people about me not doing something, I would rather prove that I don't do that thing. I'd rather show that, listen, I'm able to go into any space and I'm not gonna be the one to start some shit. I come on TikTok for reasons. To have a debate, to enjoy the app. You're not showing in my box. Sorry, talk away.
Hi, sorry, I was just muting while you carried on speaking. Firstly, I just want to apologise. When I said to you in the comments, he didn't say that. I'll tell you why I said it. I didn't at first hear him say we. I heard him say we as in he was in the chat. And the reason why I'm saying it is because I didn't think anybody would be stupid enough to do what he did. So I kind of took it that he was saying we were all saying it, as in, you know, like now we're all in your room, if that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe. But I would, okay, so here's the thing. I would distance myself from that, KJ.
And I'm not... Do you know what I felt he was asking whether. What I thought he was saying was he wasn't on the drama side of TikTok. So then he went into another live, and because he wasn't on the drama side, they were saying these words and nobody had a problem. So then it made him start questioning whether it was that side of TikTok. That's what I thought he was asking. The more and more it went on, the more and more I'm convinced I'm completely wrong and that actually he was part of the conversation. The next part is I do believe he totally trolls continually anyway, because I don't believe any sane person does what he does. And that's because of his age. He's younger than I am. And he's saying that he doesn't understand how these things are slurs.
Just quickly, can I just interrupt and then I'm dropping?
Sorry.
No. I apologise to you. Devon, me and you are whitewashed, bruv.
I know, man.
Here's the thing.
No, that's what he just come up and he just said, innit? He said that me and you are whitewashed.
Of course he's not.
But
Who's
that's
live,
all I've got to say.
Who's allowing him? Is it Torian's live?
Yeah, it is Torian's live because I was in it before I went to yours.
This is what's disappointing, right? Just because you don't agree with something or choose to handle something in a different way doesn't make you any less black. Like, and this is the thing, yeah. People will try and question your race and like to try and shame you for critically thinking. Nobody can ever do that.
I'll let you explain what whitewash is because it ain't going to come across right if I say it, innit? So, yeah, you do your thing, innit? Comment section, I'm coming.
Basically saying that we are... I don't know if people know the coconut, what a coconut is, or subservient. I've had it before. I've been called a house N-word before, bro, on other... whenever you make sense, it's like people will try and shame you into doing things their way, but all I'll say is this: how's that going for you? That's all I'm going to put out there. All I'm going to put out there is this, yeah. How is your way going for you? It's giving you a fucking digital footprint that you got to live with for the rest of your life. And I mean this. I'm not being disrespectful, and I'm not clapping back. I just want to be fucking truthful, yeah? How is just reacting to things changing? Has anything changed? You're confused. Days, talk to me, man. I get it. Listen, I knew that someone was going to start fucking, yeah. What Kay said was so true. He's a grown man, but bleeding ignorance. Kay, was you finished? And this is why I didn't want to stay on the stage, because you get it from with this app, you get it from every side. You'll get it from your own if you don't address things in the way that some of them think is right. But I'm a grown-ass man who knows right from wrong. Just everything, man. Tori wasn't.
I think I've got a lot of respect for you because of that. Because, am I echoing?
No, go on.
Oh, sorry, I felt like I was. I've got a lot of respect for you because you speak factually about stuff instead of being like, oh, I shouldn't talk on that because of this and this and this. And I've watched it before when everybody says, oh yeah, but your mum and CLA, and I'm like, and every time you're like, I'm not my mum. And I'm like, I don't understand why he's answering for his mum. And it's now going to happen all over again. And that's where I really feel for you, because actually you're really stuck in a very awkward place.
But here's the reason I don't care, right? Is because I can see it for what it is. There are a lot of tactics that get used on this app. One of them is to claim that you're being bullied. And another one is to bring up the actions of others that you have nothing to do with. When somebody on this app can come to me with something that I've done, I'll respect you. No one's been able to do that as yet in the entire time that I've been here.
Do you know, for me, Devon, though, truthfully, just take it on your shoulders that actually you're very educated in the way that you talk, and that's why nobody should ever come for you, because you don't sit down trying to play the martyr.
Can I tell you why? Can I tell you why I'm like this?
Yeah.
I've learned this is the way that I'm handling things now. Yeah, is because I have damaged my fucking life. Yeah, by not being like this when I was younger, by not having somebody older to tell me how to handle certain situations, being in really fucked up situations and handling it like Torian. That's the only reason I'm talking like this. It's not to condescend. It's not to disrespect. It's to be guided, because I
don't think you're disrespectful or condescending, by the way.
No, I know where it goes.
But I actually believe sometimes people take it as that when things are said that are wrong and there's nowhere to go, you're kind of backed into a corner. So then they say them things because they feel backed into a corner. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like the whole bullying thing happens, and because I feel like people get backed into a corner, so they don't know how to get themselves out of this box.
That is why. Did you notice that hungry guy just freaked out of nowhere and started attacking you?
I mean, he went mental at you, and I was sitting there going, I don't really know why he's shouting at you. It was me that said.
Exactly. So I was the only person who actually was saying, I think he's being genuine, and who was willing to converse with him. Yeah. That is, he was on the back foot, he was losing, felt ashamed, and he chose to attack. And that's what, there's a manipulation tactic that's used on this app. Someone will do something wrong and they'll turn on the person who has every right to be upset, and they make themselves a victim. And it's boring to watch. Like, it's boring.
Well, I can't do it with him personally, because I do feel like he... I don't know whether I could call it trolling, because trolling to me is different to what he does. But I believe that he does things for effect. And that isn't... The word trolling to me isn't done for effect. I think his whole thing on this app is done for effect, because I've been in lives before, and actually it might have been in Alex's the other day, I don't know, I can't remember whose live, and someone said, you said that though, and he's like, no, I didn't. And the whole comments going, you said it and he's like, no, I didn't. And I sit there going, this man is like either deluded or doing this for effect, because he wants to fit in every kind of situation.
I feel like I want to go into T's live and talk to her, but I also, again, can kind of see where it's going to go, especially when you have people there's a lot of people on this app that will use current situations to boost something else that they've got going on, and use it to their gain. It's very like I say, do you know who's going to win out of all of this? EQ. She's going to make a fortune.
And you know what? When you said that, you actually hit the nail on the head.
She's going to make a fucking fortune tonight.
Because she has a lot of people that fangirl over her anyway. But this is going to be even more, because exactly as you said earlier, this is now going to be... And I didn't know, again, she wrote in the comments, I had no idea. But she is going to be, look, black people are transphobic. And it's like, you've actually now, again, played into her hands.
Yep. She wins. She came in, sprinkles a little. She knows, okay, when you say that my next guy is going to be black, right, to the right person, you know what, it's innocent enough that it can be just... What she does is, she studied law as well. People who study law are quite smart, and their whole thing of studying law is knowing loopholes.
The thing
That
is,
woman
when you
has a
said she's
loophole for
clever,
everything.
Devon, you hit the nail on the head.
That woman has
I
a
actually
loophole
think
for
she's very clever.
Yep.
She knows how far to take things to
Yep.
what she's doing.
Hence why, let me just say this very, very quickly. Hence
No.
why you have to approach her differently. You can't approach someone who is that clever outright. You have to play the same game, or she will spin you every time.
Just quickly here, when you said to her, EQ, can I ask you just a quick question? Do you know, I've never heard her sound so timid. Do you know that? And I think she knows that you're really intellectually clever to go back at her, if that makes sense, instead of all this shouting stuff. And like you said, you wanted to just say to her, look, black people don't like you saying that. Can you stop saying it? I don't think she knew you were going to say that, but I think she knew that you were going to say something that would make her possibly look bad. Because actually, let's be honest, okay? 50% of the app thinks she looks bad, 50% of the app doesn't. I'm not saying that's the actual numbers, but what I'm saying is there's people that think she's incredible, there's people that think she isn't, okay? Mm-hmm. No matter what she does, that's going to be the same way every way, okay? She talks on parenting, she talks on kids, she talks on, you know, the list is endless, isn't it? And ultimately, it's not going to change. But you could have said that one sentence and our whole career on here could have changed.
So here's the thing, right? It's deliberate. Okay? It's deliberate, and this is her business, right? This is what I was saying a little bit earlier. She's never going to get a real job because of the digital footprint. So you're all in. She has nothing to lose. Let me tell you this now. She has nothing to lose. And what she does is she race baits. She
toasts to top Trump every time as well.
Everyone. She does it to everyone. But what she'll also do is she'll do it in a way that it can be perceived in two different ways. She's very clever. She doesn't do it stupidly and just, I'm going to drop the N-bomb now. I'm going to do it as a response to something. I'm going to do it to make a point. I'm going to do it to very, very meticulous in what she does. You can't go at someone like that full force. You can't. You're going to lose every time. I promise you, every time.
Do you know what? I don't actually think there's ever been a truer word said about her, apart from that. Because actually what she wants is you to go back at her firing, because then you've now allowed her to again do what she wants to do.
You built her brand.
Yeah.
This is her brand. Here's the thing. Her original brand was everyone can get it. So I remember when back in the day she used to spit at her phone and stuff like that. I think the app clocked on to that. She was doing it. It was too blatant. This is it. Okay, this is it. What she used to do was too blatant. You can be held accountable for that. Speaking to a Muslim woman in a certain way, spitting on your phone, there's no wiggle room. So she rebranded. Started again, but this time she learnt her lesson from the last time, and now she does it with a little bit of wiggle room. You have to get her so there's no wiggle. And she's back in that place where she has to rebrand again.
Yeah, because she doesn't just sit on her platform and go, N-word.
No.
Because actually that could be, like people sent the videos of Chelsea the Art to the police. Nobody can send her videos really, because she could go, yeah, but I was just demonstrating.
But do you know what she does do? She does it smart enough so you do that.
Yeah.
So there's no, when it comes to like Torian, there's no wiggle room. There's no, this is what I'm trying to teach. Like, it's so frustrating because it comes from a place of love. It's like, you're too blatant. She's got you. that can go to the police. She knows what she's doing. She's baiting you, so you say the worst thing. Once you say something that can't be 50-50, you've lost. You've lost. And I just want to shake my friend. I want to shake certain people and go, do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you did? You took back months of like apology. You know when you apologize sincerely and you're in a dark place and you just wanted to be out of that place, you've forgotten that, right? You stayed quiet and then you've made it all pointless because someone drew you out. And it makes me angry because you're playing into the fucking hands. That's your digital footprint. Now, I don't know. It's frustrating, man.
The saddest part is, though, is that there is a digital footprint now for everybody, and you can apologise, and actually people can start forgetting, and then exactly like this now.
Let me just tell you this now, yeah? NJ Host will be sitting there gaslighting her up now, saying how you can't trust certain people, rare-tete. That's not the kind of fucking friend that you want on your side. That's the type of person that will gas you up and send you into oblivion, yeah? The person that you do actually want, that person that calls you out that you don't like, that's the fucking friend that you need by your fucking side.
But that's the friend that we all need, isn't it? Is that actually a real friend is who pulls you up on your shittiness. A fake friend can't pull you up on your shittiness, if that makes sense. Like, when you've been a shitty human, and this applies to everybody, this isn't about just this app. When you've been a shitty human, your friend should be able to tell you,
yep,
you've been a shitty human. And if they can't tell you, they're not a true friend. And
vice versa.
I knew what you were trying to do when you were trying to jump down.
Yeah, and that came across bad as well. And
it did.
I didn't explain it well, but
yeah, it really did. And I sat there cringing for you, going, "Oh no," because I know what you meant. Because you've had it all before, haven't you?
yeah, like I know. Yeah, I can't support. But the point is, I can't support you, right? So it's best to eliminate me from the equation. That's why I was trying, because I know what I am and I know what I stand on, and I know that if I stay, I have to be honest. That's what it was. I wasn't supporting, defending. I'm just trying to not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I still aren't explaining it very well.
I just, do you know what I find it really hard is that, and I truly hope that she knows the type of person that you are fully, to not be able to be gaslit about what's happened there. That she can't be gaslit by other people going, oh, but Devon's this. Because I don't think what you did was wrong at all. I actually think you handled it very well.
Can I be honest? And everyone's going to hate this, yeah? I don't care.
No.
You understand or you don't. And if you don't, that's cool. I'm at an age now where this is TikTok. I can try and help. If you choose not to do that and you feel a way about me, that's fine. I'm grown. I've lost a lot more important. Like I feel comfortable to stand and walk.
You know, I don't think you should care personally, and I'm not trying to.
And it's not horrible.
I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass or anything. I just don't feel like you should care. I don't think I've ever sat in one of your lives and sat there thinking, God, you talk shit. I mean, there was even one day I outrightly questioned you and you explained something to me and I went, fair, I get it now. I'm just going to mute because my dogs are about to have a fight.
I can hear him. Go on. But yeah, I know that there's a lot of other lives going on, everyone. I don't know if you want to... Let me know if you want me to stop. I just wanted to fire it up. Say what I have to say to people who get it. And then you can watch. You can watch for yourselves if I was right.
Sorry about that. My dogs were literally about to just be like, you know, when it gets a bit out of control a little bit, you know.
Yeah, what dogs have you got?
I've got 2 French bulldogs, a frog and a pug, but it's one of my French bulldogs and my frog they were just playing, but you know when it just gets a bit loud.
They play hard.
Yeah, and they just don't know when no is no, basically. They wouldn't do good in this world, if I'm honest, you know, as in like the no is no, because he would go, it's not no.
French bulldogs face a lot of racial abuse, by the way, because of their small faces. It freaks other dogs out.
And you know what? They actually really do.
They do, they do.
A lot of dogs don't like them because of it.
Yeah, it's a fact. They can't work them out.
No, I know, and it's
faces.
because people can't work, because they can't, are not people, sorry, talking like they're actual people, but it's because they can't be worked out, because their nose doesn't stand out.
Yep.
But also, to be fair, he shouldn't be taken seriously, because he's an absolute knob, if I'm being honest with ya.
They are.
My girl, she's really, she's sassy, but my boy is a full-on knob. I mean, honestly, he is just like, imagine the type of kid that you just want to, no, I'm not going to stop talking because TikTok is not for my mouth. But imagine that, all right? Because that's what he is.
Mine
and
is
like
indestructible.
now he's just decided to just start zooming around, you know, like, what?
He'll be asleep in 2 minutes.
And this is the problem. So he's had his dinner, and now wants to play for 5 minutes, and then he'll be like, oh, I'm too tired now. I'm like, oh, so you taking them? Yeah, right, he's now bounding off all the sofas. Can you hear his paws scrambling on the floor?
Yeah.
Because he now wants to be chased.
He'll be fast asleep.
Knobhead.
I literally throw a toy to my dog for like 2 minutes. She's out like a light.
So have you got a French bulldog?
Yeah.
Oh, but have you got a girl?
I do.
They're so different. I never had a girl dog before.
I've never had a boy dog ever.
No.
Nah.
God, I always thought boys were really easy, and then I got her.
Lipstick.
Oh, see, I never wanted the
it's a
menstrual.
nightmare.
And actually, she's now spayed, but she is sass. She's silent. Oh, so I used to put her in knickers, and she'd just look at me like, what are you doing this for? I was like, don't know, just to make you look a bit of a dick, to be honest, I guess.
They look so depressed. Guys, if you have a female dog, go out and buy these special knicker things. You put them on your dog, and they just sit there looking depressed at you.
Oh my God, look at what Danny's... Oh, sorry, I've just looked at the comments. Look at what this Danny's just said. And I feel exactly the same. My girl and my boy, both Frenchies, opposite ends of the scale they are. She's sassy but quite calm. She can guilt trip the shit out of you. He, fucking mental. Sorry, I shouldn't have taken it to a whole dog chat, should I?
No, it's fine.
I think that's what my whole platform would be about if I had one about dogs, because I'll be honest, they're better than humans, really. I want a miniature dachshund, but I've told myself no more dogs now until I'm left with one.
So you've got 2 dogs or 4, did you?
No, I have 4.
Wow.
My 2 French bulldogs were actually bought to be bred. That's actually because they both come from very, very, very incredible bloodlines. God, now it's going to get a bit well, it's not even depressing, because actually it's a really good thing. Then my husband left me, and I realised that I couldn't cope because I'm disabled as well.
Right.
And so I just thought, I can't breed her and look after the puppies and me and everything else. So I got her spayed. He still has his nurse. I don't know how much we can say on TikTok.
Yeah.
So I do stud him because it would be a sad state of affairs to waste that. But yeah, and to be honest, if I'd had puppies, I would have ended up wanting to keep them all, because truthfully I'd like all the dogs because that's what makes me happy. But my others is a pug, so he does nothing. He's just boring. And then I've got a frog, which is a pug French bulldog cross, and he's proper mummy's boy. Yeah, so he was taken from his mum too early. We didn't know at the time he was that young, and so he has like separation anxiety.
Okay.
So basically my house is just a nut house, really. So I've got 3 boys, 1 girl, and I don't know whether I'd ever go again, because she could put me in my place if I really wanted her to. She just judges you.
No, I'm a pack leader. I'm so firm when it comes to dog.
Are ya?
Yeah, because I've seen what happens when you don't train your dog.
Actually, I am. Because actually, they all know. I talk, you bloody listen.
Yeah.
But, truthfully, I could have trained them better, if I'm being 100% honest. Like, she's very pulley on the lead, and that's not good. But in regards to, like, behaviour-wise, they're very well behaved. I can't complain. He's just French Bulldog knobhead, what they're known for, basically. And she's probably French Bulldog knobhead girl version.
Yeah.
But she's just lovely.
I'll see Molly's got a frog and it has anxiety as well.
Oh, maybe it's just I've never known anyone to have a frog.
Did you leave it by itself? Did you leave it by itself?
Pardon?
Did you leave it by itself when it was a puppy?
No. So what happened? We already had the pug. No. What happened was we took him from his mum and we were told he was 8 weeks old, but it turned out he was like 5.5 weeks. And he was in such a bad way when we brought him home. And now he can't do anything without me.
You know what it is? It sounds horrible and no one likes to do it, but when you first get them, luckily mine's crate chained perfectly, but you have to leave them, let them cry.
See, I'm a fucker, and I've done it before. I've had dogs before, so you leave them to cry, put them in a crate, blah blah blah. When I had the pug was like, "Yep, fine." I was like, not sleeping in my bed. I'd had a dog years ago that never slept in my bed, and I said, "Never, ever, ever again am I doing this. This is ridiculous." And so when I got them, I said, "No, we're not doing it." And then because he cried so much, but even in the day and everything, it was horrible, actually. Yeah. He ended up in my bed. And then because he ended up in my bed, I felt bad. So I put the pug in my bed.
Oh, you fumbled.
And now I have 4 of them in my bed.
Fumbled. You've replaced your husband with dogs.
Oh, but how much better is that? Oh, that is like the dream, isn't it? I mean, my kids do laugh at me and say, you could never move on because how are you telling them that you got 4 dogs that sleep in your bed? And I went, fair.
Oh, you've set yourself up. See, because when you get a new man now, you're going to have problems because you don't have to leave him.
No, I'm not cut out to have a man. I'm going to be honest.
Never say never, KJ. No. Never say never.
I'm being honest, Devon. Do you know the problem is? I can't tolerate humans very long. Not even my kids or anything. Like, I find it really hard because humans are just weird. I find it just easier with dogs. They're just cool, aren't they?
Well, they don't lie to you. I think that's what it is. They don't lie, and they're very simple. It's a pack mentality. It's just
and you know, like they're all just I don't know, just make you happier. I don't think people always make you happy. I don't. Like, I think we're all out there a little bit to destroy each other. And I'd just rather not, thanks.
Speaking of destroy each other, what I'm going to do is, because we were having a lovely chat, everyone left as well, I'm going to have to face up to this other live. So
Sorry, Devon, I made everybody leave because everybody
No,
wanted drama.
I
I'm really
don't-
sorry.
no, I don't. I honestly don't care. I've loved
You
having it.
you just started talking to me about dogs and you made me really happy.
No, good carry. We'll carry on. Actually, Fuck it, we'll
No,
carry
because
on.
that's actually what makes me happy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a bit of drama and that's why I sit and watch it. But you made me really happy. And then when you said that, I was like, shit, there's only 14 people in this live. There was about 100
no
when
one
I
cares.
first joined.
No one cares. It's all right. I don't
So
care.
I'm really sorry.
No,
Oh,
don't
thanks for saying you
dare.
enjoyed it, Letty, because I did too. Because I
Yeah.
don't have any friends.
Oh.
But no.
Is that why? Do you think that's why you use TikTok?
Yeah, completely.
You're so on it. Love it.
I use it as a bit of a background noise because I work for myself.
Good.
So I use it as background noise. So I use it as a podcast most of the time. But then
Yep.
to be fair, when it comes to a night, I get into bed and I use it because I don't have anyone to talk to. So I use it because it's a bit of a... I don't really interact with anybody really on here. To be
Where'd you
fair,
go?
so I'll be... If I'm 100% with you, I'm everywhere. Truthfully,
Yeah.
I'm everywhere. Because sometimes I like to feel good, so I don't want to be in the drama.
If you feel good, where'd you go? I mean, I'm really interested.
So DG's Karma Kaz, I like a bit of him because he's so dry that I quite like. I don't know if you know of him or if you've seen him, but he's called David and he's a trucker, but he first started out actually on Instagram. But he's very ruthless. You may have seen his screen recordings.
Never.
And I'm a bit ruthless, so I quite like him.
Yeah.
But no, to be honest, I'm just a bit everywhere. You're probably the only box really that I've ever jumped up into a few times because I really like you. I've got a lot of respect for you because you tell it how it is. You don't bullshit. And that's how I like my life. Like, if I'm a shit human, I want to be told I'm a shit human. It's really how I am. And I really like it.
Good, man.
Yeah, so I like a bit of drama because it gets my day going a bit quick. But
I wish I was more like you, to be honest, that could just watch. The problem with me is I can't watch things happen and not have a say. I don't understand how people can.
you know why, Devon,
Yeah,
truthfully? Should I tell you the problem with you? The problem with you, you're articulate. I'm not. I don't care what people think about me. I am mouthy as you like.
Yeah.
And I'm not in with TikTok guidelines. That's why I can't jump up. Because it is very hard for me. Like earlier when I said to you about kids, and I'm really close to saying what I think, and then go, shit. And that's my problem. My mouth runs away.
Yeah.
And that's why. Whereas you're not like me. You're very good in terms of I'm very ruthless. So
Well, you haven't seen me kicking up. Everyone's got that side. Trust me. I am not always articulate. If you catch me on a good day, I am. But I get down and dirty just as bad as everyone else. To be honest with you, that's what I'm trying to stop.
But you know what? I think you're just really yeah, you do. And I've actually seen you I saw you a couple of weeks ago ranting, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. But
You've not seen me with NJ Host. That's when I've
I think that's what actually I have seen you.
That's what it'll be.
I actually did see you with him, and I'll be honest. I don't know whether I enjoyed it because when I say drama, I like drama, not like that. Like that to me weren't drama. That to me was quite real. Drama to me is watching. We all know the person that I'm going
you can
to.
say it,
I
you
don't
can say
like
it,
to
yeah.
say the name because I feel like it summons them.
No, go ahead. It's all right. It's all right.
No, I feel like it summons them and I can't stand them. The person that I've actually questioned you over her before, because remember when I said to you about why did you keep going in her box talking to her about racism?
Oh,
and then
Angie.
you explained to me, yeah. And I was like, okay, fairs. All right, I'll give it to you. But
Do you know
I
what it
like
was
to
about
watch her
Angie?
downfall.
People always say, people keep bringing up the fact that people were in Angie's box. And recently, a lot of people have been like, well, you've been in her box. I can't remember, other than there was a live that I did where I obviously argued with her entire room. But before that, I haven't been in Angie's.
Oh, this was a long time ago when I asked you that question. This was actually when the whole Zach thing went down, actually. And I think I asked you then, like, why do you continually go to her? Because I found it really hard to understand why you continually tried to talk to her about it, considering the fact that she doesn't give a damn. And you then explained to me that education is key, and I was like, it is, but to her,
not even that. I didn't know who she. I'm going to be honest when it comes to Delusive. When I first joined the app, I went in her box, and a lot of people were telling me all sorts about her, and I said, listen, I want to make up my own mind. And it took me a while, but I will admit,
I feel like it took you too long, Devon. That's where you're actually.
I think so.
Now I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass actually right now, okay? Because I feel like it took you too long. Because she's not a nice person, and
I agree.
I don't care what anybody says about her being an act and all this bullshit. And I'm sick on this app. Sick of it. Sick of everybody just giving her a pass. I'm sick of it.
But you know what I find interesting about her, KJ? Let me put this to you, right? She speaks about her mother, and she says that she says certain things about her mum, and she retracts it the next day. I have a question for you. What if she's telling the truth when she says that bit, and she's lying when she retracts it?
Sorry. So the other way to what we all see. So
she claims that her mum was quite
is abusing her,
right? Or not is currently, but like maybe I'm just saying, play devil's advocate. And she, when she's drunk, that's when she expresses it, right? And when she's sober, she says, aha, I'm lying, and so on and so forth.
Do you know the problem is now, Devon?
Go on.
I like to play devil advocate generally, and actually that was when I first jumped up in Courtney's, was to play a bit of that, and then Hungry I took it over. But my problem with her is I don't like to. And the reason why I don't like to is because I've seen how many things she has done wrong, okay? And this is why I don't like to do it with her, because I don't know how you can be such a shit human and it be your mum that's abusing you. I don't know the answer to it.
So what I would say to that is, like, things, when you're born, nobody's born a shit human being. So somewhere in her life, she's become this. And what if, this is just me playing devil's advocate.
Can I tell you why I think she's become a shit human?
Go on.
I think she's watched EQ. And I think she's trying to do that because she sees the money she rakes in, and she sees her say it's just an act. And so she's trying to follow the same footsteps. Because a lot of, like she always says, a lot of what I say is just about me. And I'm like, actually, you're probably right. A lot of it probably is about her, really. And like where EQ, you know, when we were saying about EQ does the, like where she doesn't put herself in it 100%, she does the same thing. So she'll talk about your children, but by talking about your parenting, because that way she can say, well, I never spoke about your kids.
I told you about parenting,
Yeah. And this is what I think she's doing. I think more and more she's watched that person and now is trying to be like that person because it rakes in the money, and it's really paying off. If you've watched, Angie has become very popular because of this. Now, the only difference is Angie has claimed bullying. EQ doesn't claim bullying at all. But I think Angie claims bullying because there is a problem with drink, however we want to look at it. I think it allows her to play a bit more of the bullying act. It's a really hard one for me with her mum. I believe her mum isn't solely innocent. I really don't. But could you imagine living with her also?
Yeah. But I'm willing to. Here's the thing, right? I believe that something does happen. So I do I'm willing to listen and see if maybe, because when she does reveal things about her mum that I've seen in a drunken state, as an actor, I can tell when someone's being honest and dishonest.
Okay, yeah.
I believe she's being honest. I believe that there is something there.
What do you believe? Do you believe it's as bad as she says?
I believe that people change, right? I believe that people grow and become older, and not everybody knows how to be a parent. Mm-hmm. And I think that maybe, possibly, Angie's mum may have made mistakes. Not that I'm guessing, and that's something that has stuck with Angie, whereas her mum has changed. I think the roles
you believe, you know what, when she's spoken about her mum doing things when she was younger, so you think it was more when she was younger rather than like Angie says, like it's now?
Yeah, I think I think it's the roles have reversed. Just my opinion from watching.
I think you could be 1,000% correct. But I would also put this to you. Yeah. Angie's mum's era was a different era in terms of parenting. Mm-hmm. And actually, the stuff that Angie says... So Angie, it's really strange because I can't quite figure out Angie's mum's age in terms of the way that Angie says that she's this age. But then Angie's like... I can't figure it all out sometimes, all right? Because sometimes it's really... puts me in a bit of an uncomfortable position, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think that you're probably quite right.
It was a different time.
Very different, because actually I've spoken to my mum about her own mum. And some of the stuff Angie said, my mum's mum did to my mum. I say mum's mum. We didn't have anything to do with my mum's mum. I know it would have been my nan, but we didn't have anything to do with her because there was a lot of abuse there for my mum. So that's why I say mum's mum, purely because she wasn't a nan. Mm-hmm. And she says a lot of the same stuff. And I'm like, okay, though my mum did have it actually really quite bad. But I say like some of the same stuff, like, but... you know, like hitting and stuff was very normal then.
Yep. Yep. Standard.
You know, like if you said that now,
it was in schools.
Like my mum and dad got beaten
in school
all the time at school. Mm-hmm. But if we take it into now, it wouldn't be acceptable, but it was accepted back then. Mm-hmm. And is it abuse, or is it just kind of lack of parenting, if that makes sense?
So I think it was always abuse, but it never had the label. And
even like hitting and stuff, would you say it was always been abuse then?
Yes.
Okay.
Personally, I believe yes. So did you?
Oh, nothing. I'm not going to ask you because that's really personal.
But like personally, I
because my mum hit me. Now basically, let's just turn it on me. My mum hit me. Do I think I was abused?
No.
But is it abuse? I wouldn't dream hitting my kids.
Do you feel like you were need to?
Shall I tell you why I don't hit my children?
Go on.
Because of how it made me feel. It actually made me really angry when I got hit. And I didn't want my children to feel the anger. So I think that's why I have never hit my kids, because of that reason. But then shouting it can be deemed as abuse.
And so for me...
But would I shout at my kids? Yeah, probably.
For me, hitting comes from a place of loss of control. Right, because that's coming from rage,
Okay. Yeah.
And it's very technical. Okay, how do I put this? You either lead with respect or fear. Okay, and I think it's easier for men on fathers that you notice to get respect with just the threat without the physical, whereas
Because your voice is deeper, do you think?
I don't know, but I think mothers tend to hit their children because to try to get that respect that is owed.
Okay.
But I think that people at times are changing now. Like,
So if you saw a mum,
yeah,
and I say mum because like you've just said, I guess,
yeah,
hit their children in the street,
yeah.
would you think the children were being abused?
No, and
I don't either.
Here's the only thing I'll say is if you lose your child at an early age. So, for instance, I was watching a dad in a McDonald's the other day. He said to his son, "Put your coat on," and the kid was messing around with his brother, and that dad told that boy, "Put your coat on," 20 times. Right? If you've lost that child's respect, then right. When they get older and it's more dangerous, you've lost your child. Like, I really believe in getting that respect that's unshakable. Do you get what I mean?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Because it's very dangerous to lose young boys, because it starts with the coat, but then when he's like 13 or 14 and he's saying, I want to go out, and you say, no, you're staying in, he goes, I'm going out, and you go, no, you're staying in, and that kid goes out.
You've got nothing
I feel like
to
you're
do.
failing as a parent then.
Yeah. But if you see, this is a weird question, because if I saw somebody hit their kid in the supermarket, truthfully, it would make me like, that kind of wince, when you're a bit like, oh no, because it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Because it's just not nice.
It's hard for me because I believe that it's done in the long run out of protection. So I'll use knife crime and the black community, for instance.
Yeah.
If you have to stop and have that respect and control at a young age, and I think a lot of people that get involved in that kind of thing don't have that respect for their parents. I think a lot of it does come down to parenting. How people
So can
get
I
into those
ask you a
situations.
question then now?
Of course you can.
And I hope that you don't think I'm really uneducated. I'm going on what media says.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Why do you believe there is such high knife crime statistics in black young men to what they would say white young men on the media? Though we all know this isn't necessarily true, okay? Because I live in an area that isn't necessarily true, okay? But why do you think they say that when I was younger, black parents would have been known to beat their children than a white parent was? Why do you think? I don't know whether they are now, because I'm not a child anymore, so I don't know whether that is a thing now.
Okay, let me dissect that.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you're saying, why is there a
Because to me, that tells me that white parents, when I was growing up, let's take it to when I was growing up, because I don't know about now. So let's take it to when I was growing up, yeah? So I'm like late 30s. So when I was growing up, to me, white parents were seen as more lenient to black parents, yeah?
Yep. 100%.
But then they would say that knife crime rates or men getting into gangs or whatever was higher than white people. So if we're talking about respect, why do you think it would have been higher if we're talking about respect? Because to me, if white parents are more lenient, you don't respect them as much. I don't know if that really makes sense what I'm saying.
No, I kind of get where you're coming from. But there's more to it than then that comes down to other things like poverty. Yeah, there you go. Institutional racism. When you don't have, back in the day, when you don't have the same opportunities as others, you don't get the same jobs as others, and you're in a low income area.
Seen as more shit, aren't you? Really? I mean,
Yeah.
I come from I come from London, and I grew up in North London when it didn't have a lot of money.
North Easy, yeah.
And you're right there, actually. And actually, when I've asked you that question, you've just opened your mouth. I'm like, oh yeah, I should have actually asked myself the question, really, because really I knew the answer. It's just
deeper than just parenting. I was going to say it's deeper than just parenting, and then you get into talking about single parent households. There's so much more to it. That's not a simple question to answer. If you get what I mean, there's so much to it.
When you were saying about respecting a parent, because to me, if your children are scared, not that you respect them, because somebody's just put that there in terms of saying my daughter respects me but isn't scared of me. And do you know what? That's so right. Maybe by being beaten, you're scared of them, but actually you have no general respect for them at all.
I just think it's a different type of respect. I think it's more of it's a more primal respect, like a pack mentality. Like, that's the alpha.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? But don't you think it's funny how times have changed so much there? Like, when I grew up, living in London, it would have been very normal to children being out at all times, but actually, again, there would have been a whole train down to that, as in I wasn't allowed out at all times because my parents had seen stuff happen growing up in London, so I wasn't allowed out at all times, but other people would have been because their parents wouldn't have seen stuff happen. And it kind of down the line, you learn these things and you kind of change your parenting because of that. Like, my parents hit me, so I've never hit my kids. And I don't even mean a tap, because to me, it made me rage.
Do you know what I learned? You know what I understand as you get older? Like, when you're young, you see everyone as old and wise, even if they're in their 20s, right? But as you get older, you realize that, like, parents are just working it out. A lot of parents aren't ready to be parent. They're learning. They're gonna make mistakes. They're literally learning on the job, and that's why I think people shouldn't be too hard. Like, you're not born knowing what to do and how to raise
like my mum, you know.
But you're not. You don't know what you're doing.
You're literally how to parent, and I'm like, all right.
No, they're literally freestyling. Like, we looked at them like they had their shit together and they knew absolutely everything, but they're learning.
Do you know? And the thing is, I guess you're only learning through your own experience. You're not learning through anybody else's. Yeah. So if your parents did something you didn't like, you don't do it. But if your parents did something you do like, you do it. You know what I mean? Like, there's my parents utterly spoilt me, and I don't think it made me a shit human. So I've done it with my kids. But actually, I don't think it's been great doing it with my kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because my kids, I've kind of had to take a bit of a tough loving at the moment with my daughter. Not in terms of her just being naughty or anything like that, but kind of her contract came to an end, and so I was like, right, I'm not supporting you this time, and I've kind of had to stick to it, even though I don't want to, because she's too spoiled.
Do you know what it is? If you baby someone, when they go and they hit life and the world, it's going to come as a shock, like being plunged into an ice cold river. Like, when you constantly try to protect something, when they go out there into the cold woods, they're not going to make it out. Like,
But then you say that, Devon, right? My son's autistic, and I don't think I baby my son at all because he's verbal.
mums never do, though. I'll put that to you.
No. But like, so my son, he's verbal. He can talk, and ultimately, he wants to have a job when he's older, and I hope he does. Though I don't know how we're going to get there, if I'm honest. Okay, but I don't think I've babied him, but I truly don't know how he's going to navigate the world compared to my daughter did. My daughter has navigated the world. She wanted a job as soon as she could have a job at 16. She got a job after school. I can't see my son doing that because there are challenges there. But I think it's such a fascinating thing that you can parent two children exactly the same. My kids are like nothing the same. Nothing. Like, they have both been spoiled. They've both been, like everything. And it was when my kids were babies that taught me it. So my daughter was this incredible baby, and then my son come along and was the complete opposite. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? I've just done exactly the same thing. And I thought it was my parenting. It isn't your parenting, though.
They have personalities as well.
Definitely.
Different minds, different...
Sorry, I'm holding you up. I'm really sorry. I should let you
No,
go
you're not
and
holding
sort
me up
your
from
shit.
anything.
I just like talk. Do you know what? I just think you're really cool to talk to.
I don't think conversations like... I don't feel like conversations like this happen on the app, like, where people just conversate, like... Ignore the numbers. I just don't think it happens enough.
Yeah, but I think that's why, because actually they do. Because if you scroll into some people's lives that have got like this numbers, they do. But it's because nobody stays, because there's nobody in there, because they're boring.
They want drama.
Talk about life is boring.
I don't even think it's boring. I think, do you know what it is, Kay? I think people want to escape life. They have these problems, and that's why they're here, is to escape it and watch someone else having a shit time.
So you think by seeing a shit time makes you not feel a shit human?
About
so you
yourself.
think it's more fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
do
a
you know what? I
distraction.
think you're probably right there.
It's a distraction from like things that you act like. Let's take we'll use her name because she likes being spoken about anyway. This is a distraction from her having to deal with her actual self. That's why she's on here all the time, because then she doesn't have to address the real world, and she's got everyone blowing smoke up her bum and giving her money. She doesn't have to address that what the paramedics come to her and say, you need help. Healthcare professionals, have come to her house and said you need help.
But TikTok people say she doesn't, so who's she going to listen to?
Exactly. You're going to listen to the person who agrees with you. Healthcare ambulances are coming out and having conversations with her, which she's choosing to have on the show on the internet, so I'm more than welcome to talk about it, telling her, you need help. Come to the hospital with us. Are you getting help for this? Are you getting help for that? No, I'm fine. Because on that screen, she's got a room of people going, yeah, tell him to get lost, Ange. Tell him to get lost.
Yeah.
That's the devil on her shoulder, in her brain.
Can you
telling her
stop
she's
it,
right.
Devon? Because you're making me feel sorry for her.
And that's why I stayed for so long, Kate.
Anybody like that.
That's what I mean. That's why I took so long.
I don't want to feel sorry for someone like that, because
No, I understand. I get it.
You can't be that person and have sympathy, but you're 1,000% correct, because when someone's telling you need help, it brings you into reality, doesn't it?
When we're going in there saying, do you know what? These people are lying to you. You're not what you think you are. You need help. That's the truth. Just slapping her in the face, and she hates it. So she'll just attack.
And that's when she becomes vulgar, isn't it? Is that
correct?
She's being slapped in the face with the truth.
Yep. She needs to come off the app and sort herself out, but she never will.
You know what, Jojo, right? Can I tell you something? That's the biggest thing anyone can ever do, is realise they need to work on themselves. Because working on yourself is so scary.
Yeah.
Because you realise your shit bits about yourself.
Yep.
Like, I don't... when I became disabled, basically my whole world ended, and that's kind of when I'm really shit because I kind of do have friends, but I don't really like to talk to anybody because it just reminds me that actually I got a pretty shitty life, really. I was dealt with a bit of a shit hand, and that probably sounds like I'm really, really sorry for myself. I went years for feeling sorry for myself. I don't feel sorry for myself anymore, but you know, when you see other people and they have loads of stuff to talk about and I don't, that's why I just don't really talk to anybody because I just find it a bit easier. And so I'll either like belittle myself because I've got a good hand in that, or I humour a lot of shit, or I just point blank tell people the truth. And actually, none of it is any good for you, truthfully.
You know that's why you're on this app, though. Like, you literally broke down why you're on this app. Like, I think that you hear things and you realise that it applies to you, but it's up to you whether you choose to apply it or not. Like, I would say...
the sad part is, when you've just said that, you know, you have that realisation in your brain going, oh, fuck.
I know.
Because it's so true.
I know.
But part of you just don't, you know, like, I don't know. I think we all come here to kind of feel a bit better or better about ourselves. So even whether it be sitting in a good life or a bad life, either way, they make you feel better about yourself, don't they, really? Because I look at Angie and think, thank fuck I'm not like that. But would I want to be? No. I don't know.
And that makes you feel bad. But here's the truth of the matter, right? Watching someone like that makes you feel better because you go, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
That's partly why people, you know, those people that come to her, even if they hate her, and they actively watch her, because I choose not to. They're seeking their own gratification because they go, well, I'm not a scumbag. Like, everyone has a reason for being on here as often as they are.
Molly, I don't like your chat, thank you. I think that is very rude to tell me that. I'm only joking, by the way. It's just because I don't really want to talk to anybody. You're so 1,000% right, though, Molly. But I just don't want to engage.
You will when you're ready.
No, but you know what, right? And I do. I just think it's boring to just chit-chat. Like, I don't... Do you know... No. Shall I tell you the real truth? The real truth is I don't want them to ask me how I am. Because actually...
Because you don't want to lie to them.
Yeah, because actually, truthfully, no, I haven't dealt with becoming disabled. No, I haven't, no. But actually, I just sugarcoat it every day. And if I can put as much sugar on it as I possibly can, one day it might be sweet. But that's the truth. And
how long is it? Can I ask you how long it's been?
Yeah. So 11 years was my diagnosis of MS. I got medically retired 10 years ago. And let's get a little bit deep here and a bit horrible, and maybe people don't want to hear it, but tried to myself a few times because I didn't want to live. Yeah, I've had therapy a couple of times for it, but never.
Oh, you have? I was just about to ask you.
Never really wanted to talk because I could never deal with what happened because I had everything before that. I was working, and I think working gives you a social life. Whether we all moan about work or not, it still gives you a social life. And now I feel like I'm nothing, if I'm being honest with you. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me.
Would you ever try it again?
So I will. And I will try it again. But my son is too dependent on me to slip out of this nice plateau line of how I am now. Because therapy opens me up into quite a depressed state, and my son needs me too much now. So I've said when he's older, I will go and do it again, yes, because I need to get to the bottom of it. I have to.
Do you think you can wait that long though? Do you feel like you're kind of you're not serving yourself because?
Do you know, I've actually been asked this question recently because I was actually offered it again recently. And whether I can or can't wait that long, it's not an option. Truthfully, it's not an option. I just can't get that down again because I know what happened last time. And I'm at a good point now. Like, when my husband left me, it was done quite badly, but it's made me the happiest I've been in years. And I think it's because actually we just became parents.
Yeah.
And now I'm quite happy in myself generally, mentally. Though don't get me wrong, I still have days that are pretty shit, but I could never get to that state again of how I was, and it frightens me to start therapy again and I get to that state, and then who's going to look after my son?
Maybe.
Because my son's got like really, really bad anxiety. Like it's like really bad. They've finally agreed to medicate him, and he just won't cope. So it's just not an option that I can't take the gamble.
Do you not think maybe it might be different this time around? Like going into it a second time, knowing what you're going into?
No. Well, it wouldn't even be the second time. It'd probably be like the fifth.
Oh, okay.
Because I did it quite a few times, because every time I was like, no, come on. But it made me feel just really shit walking out of there every time. And every time I dip a bit lower. I don't know. Is the answer? I don't know, because I wouldn't know until I try it. But I just don't feel like I can try.
No, that's fair.
Because I'm frightened of the outcome if it's not the right outcome.
No, I get that.
Just because I think when you're not 100% whether you... Because I know what my problem is. You know, like a lot of people do therapy because they don't really know what the problem is.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I know what the problem is. The problem is I can't deal with becoming disabled. Because I had an operation and then all of a sudden became disabled and my whole world just fell apart.
I couldn't imagine.
It was the worst. It was the worst thing to ever happen to me. But then I think, do you know what? It's taught my kids compassion. It's taught my kids about disability. It's taught my kids about people being in a wheelchair. Like, my daughter first worked in McDonald's when she was 16. And it taught her to be a caring human. Like, she'd see someone that needed a bit of help and she'd go and help them. Whereas a lot of time in McDonald's, you'd be overlooked. So, you know, sometimes you've got to sit there and look at the positives and go, do you know what? Maybe it taught you different things. I mean, it did make me very angry, yes. But on the other hand, again, if I wasn't disabled, I wouldn't have dogs.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just got to look at these little things, like my dogs help my son. But I wouldn't have dogs if I wasn't disabled because I'd be working. Whereas now I can work from home. I set up my own business. Would I have set up my own business? No. I set up my own business because I was sick of laying in bed all day being bored out of my fucking skull.
Do you believe that everything happens for a reason?
Yeah. I'm a firm believer of it. Massive believer of it.
Yeah.
You have a child too? Jojo,
Pardon?
I might beat you though because mine is electric. Jojo said that we could have a race in our chairs. But I think I might win because mine's electric.
How fast can it go?
Pardon?
How fast? What's the top speed?
No, they don't go very far. Mine's not like a road one because I have to drive everywhere. And so mine's not very fast because it's not a road wheelchair, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's only like, I don't know, I can't even think of what they say. I've just been looking at a new one, that's why.
Someone said 6 mile an hour.
Oh, there we go. See, not very fast, is it? You could run faster, really, couldn't you?
I think I jog No, I don't jog 6 miles.
Don't take the piss that you jog faster than that. Jesus, Devon, that's a bit rude.
Sorry.
Do you know what, Molly? Molly's hit the. Do you know what? Molly's hit the nail on the head there. Actually, it's a lot of resentment. It's a lot of embarrassment. You know, when I got medically retired, I was. God, I'm going to give my age away, but I was 28 when I got medically retired. So for me, it was like proper embarrassment, because what you should do in your life is work. I was brought up from a working family, and now all of a sudden I was going to be a bum, basically. And I found that really, really difficult. Really difficult. I mean, a few times I've sat there thinking, because all I do is sit on my arse all day, I could be a TikToker, really. But then I'm too opinionated to be a TikToker.
Why don't you do one about disability? It would be good. Like,
nah, because I don't really give a shit about anyone else.
Yeah.